You're watching Two Button Crew,
the daily show for Nintendo fans.
I'm Scott.
And I'm Simeon.
And we're here to talk about Metroid.
Indeed we are. Metroid Prime Federation?
Forces? Force?
Whatever it's called. That came out, well, hasn't come out yet, but they announced it at E3.
In our E3 prediction bingo, which we scored on, by the way.
Woo!
I predicted a new Metroid game, but I dared not specify Prime.
No.
I thought that the Prime days were over.
I did too.
But, lo and behold, Prime has returned, the series is back, and even when I saw Blast Ball at the Nintendo World Championship, I thought that looks pretty Metroid-y.
Yes.
If you take a look at the HUD and the way that the arm cannon is positioned in the screen.
And the weird, if you got a glimpse of it there at the end, you could see the Federation mask face.
Yeah. And then there was something else fishy about Blast Ball.
What was that?
They said, well, it was cool they announced a new game at the championship, but they said that wasn't going to be done until 2016.
Really?
Yeah. Which, Metroid Prime Federation Forces is coming out next year.
That's true.
But a Blast Ball, really simply graphical looking sci-fi sports game taking that long to develop, fishy.
Fishy indeed.
So when it got matched up with Metroid Prime Federation Forces, that made a lot of sense.
Yes.
I'm not totally down on this game. I like the idea of playing as the Federation. That was a cool aspect of the Metroid Prime series. I also like that it's set in the Prime world, and we'll be visiting those locations a lot.
Yes.
It's also got some other good stuff going for it, like 4-player co-op missions.
Which is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then the mini game comes with it, so that's cool. But I'm going to start complaining here.
Go for it.
The whole chibi graphic style not doing it for me. How it looks like it's made for little kids. And the soldiers themselves are like the worst part. The mech suits that they get into, that's okay. But they're these tiny little giant-headed men.
Yeah.
And it seems so silly.
It does.
And you don't mess with Metroid Prime. You don't make your most serious franchise for little kids after it's been gone for 5 years.
Yeah, this is kind of a tease.
So it doesn't fill the Metroid hole in my heart.
No.
What do you think?
Well, I think that there's lots of complaining to do, and it doesn't fill the Metroid hole in my heart either. I have to say that, seeing the Metroid logo, like you said, was the most exciting part of the press conference. But then, like afterwards, utter disappointment. It's like, there's definitely complaining to be done, but to me,
there's also like campaigning to be done. People are trying to get the development canceled. Yeah,
to me, I think that's a little bit extreme. To me, it's like, okay, yes, this is not what we wanted. But to me, it's just like we can look at this and say, well, let's do this. Let's take Metroid Prime away, okay? Because I think we can safely look at this and say, from what we've seen, there's not a whole lot of Metroid Prime to be had. If we take that away from it, it actually looks like a pretty great game. If we take away the title...
So you're saying if this was a new IP?
Yes, if this was a new IP, people would have a completely different look at it. In fact, I think people would look at this game and say, that looks a whole lot like Metroid. Yeah. And we'd have a reverse of this. So to me, I think there's a whole lot of complaining to be done that is legitimate, but I don't think it's all legitimate, because I think that if they were to have taken away the title, we would have taken a look at it and said, they were doing something with Metroid here, and they just changed the title.
Yeah.
So I'm still kind of looking forward to this game, but yeah, it definitely isn't what I was expecting or wanting.
Or anybody.
Yeah, or anybody was expecting or wanting.
Metroid fans been asking for a game for 5 years. Every E3, is it going to be Metroid? Is it going to be Metroid? Is it going to be Metroid? Nintendo finally delivers, and then it's like, this is what you give us,
And they did say, I think at some point, that there were 2 Metroid games in development, including a 3D one. Was this it? I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope that there are still 2 more Metroid games, but I can't.
I got a statement from the series producer, so I'll read that.
Oh my goodness! Okay, I'm excited to see this.
And that's just kind of how I feel is grr about it.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm happy about. Well, I mean, I know it's probably going to end up being fun for 1.
Yes.
2, Prime is back, and that excites me.
Yes.
So whereas I didn't think that we'd ever see Metroid Prime again, I thought that ship had sailed. The retro development studio has changed a lot. A lot of their employees have gone to go work on Halo and stuff. I thought Prime was just kind of finished. But now this refreshes the series. So yes, it's a spin-off, and no, it's not what I was looking for. But a Prime game is coming out in 2016,
yes,
which means a main series entry is feasible.
It is.
The next year or the year after or for the next 5 years. The more distance you get from a series like Mega Man or Ice Climbers, you know, the more years between, the less likely you are to see another entry. So that's
absolutely
cool. So we've got a statement from Prime series producer Tanabe. So here's what he said. More work in the Prime series is to be done. And he mentioned that the story could continue kind of where Corruption left off. And Samus was flying away in her gunship, and the bounty hunter Psylux was following her. So we could pick it up from there, he says. Okay. However, he also stated that he just can't get the team or the resources to make a main Prime game for the Wii U because HD development is difficult and time-consuming and resource-consuming. So it's not likely to see it until the NX, is what he's stating now.
I'm salty.
I feel like you look as well.
Yes.
So
this is not good.
So should fans buy this game or not? That's really the question I want to ask. 1, should they vote with their wallet and say, we want to see more Metroid, so we'll support this game for risk of this game flopping and then Nintendo thinking Metroid has no chance? Or 2, do we vote with our wallets and say you're giving us the wrong thing? Like, is this game a slap in the face to Metroid fans or not?
I personally, is this coming out just for the new Nintendo DS? I didn't see this.
It should be all 3DS models.
Okay, then
I can't see it doing anything too technologically taxing.
No, not at all. Not that I've seen. Personally, this is a game that I want.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with buying this. I think that people that are complaining about this need to stop. Well, I mean, complain about it, but buy it, because ultimately you have to realize that this game is, well, I think just go with the first option there that you said, is that we have to vote with our wallets saying, we want more Metroid. And I think people are going to do that whether we have a bunch of complainers or not.
Yeah.
And if resources is like the problem, we have to show that there's enough interest in Metroid to do this. I think that...
to justify the resources.
Exactly. And I think...
There's probably Nintendo fans that would go to college right now to become programmers and designers to go make a Metroid game.
Yeah. Seriously. I think that just complaining and saying we don't want this because it's going to scar the name of Metroid, I think that's going to do more harm to the series than good. I see more potential for the series, and I do hope that it continues.
Metroid Prime is back, and I really hope to see a main series entry. And you know what? Just the reaction to the E3 announcement is probably enough to get Nintendo's attention that Metroid fans are very serious, and they should probably take another look at their resource allocation right now.
I really hope so.
Let's talk more about the E3 game announcements for the remainder of this week. We've got plenty of exciting titles to talk about.
Absolutely.
So thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the crew.
Don't forget to like, to comment, and most of all, to hit that big red subscribe button.
See you next time.
Signing out.